Hi, this is Margaret's from Margaret's Crafts. I wanted to show you a very simple card, but it just looks like it may be more difficult. And it just opens up like that, and you can put all of your writing in it. And it closes back like that. This is a card that I made with a digital image, and I used the Cricut to cut out the shape. But what I wanted to show you today is if you don't have the Cricut or the Nestabilities or any of the other cutting devices, all you need is your cutter. You need some embellishment to put on the front. You know, it could even be a stamped image of a flower that you cut in. It could be anything. And a stamp. And the one I'm doing is going to be with Winnie the Pooh in my center. Now, to make my base of my card, all you do is you take a 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper and you cut it in half to a piece of paper that is 8.5 by 11, and you're going to cut it in half till it's 8.5 by 5.5. Now, to get your A4 size card, to make it 8.5 by 4 1/4, this is what those are the kind of cards that I like to make to send out. All you're going to do is, if you don't even have to have a score pad or anything like that, I still use my cutter. I put my cutter in at each of my sides. I need 2 1/8. My bone folder, and right where my cutting line is. Usually if you've cut with your cutting pad, you have a little mark there cut into your rubber cutter that'll tell you exactly where your cutting is, and you know right where to do your line. Now turn my paper over, and I'm going to put it at the same 2 1/8 marking. And I'm going to score the opposite side. Now when you're done with that, you have your basic card. Now when you're done with that, you have your basic card. All you have to do is fold in your sides. It's already scored. And there you have it. Now to make my the outside of my card, I took 2 pieces of paper that are the same size of your sides, which that will make them 4 1/8 by 5.5. And I always like to cut mine slightly lower, smaller, and I'll use my white background since I'm going to do a white and red card. Now you just tape that down. You're just going to tape that down to each of your little fold flips. If you want to, you can open it up and make sure it's all lined up. And that is one side. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the other fold. Okay, now I have my card front. Now what I'm going to do is I measured my Winnie the Pooh. You can make this piece any size that you want to. I made mine to fit my Winnie the Pooh, and I'm going to double mat it with, I'm going to put it on white, and I'm going to mat it on my red. Now Winnie the Pooh is going to sit in the center of my white. And then my white is going to be put in the center of my red. And these were just all cut out with my cutter. I didn't use any type of a die cutting machine. Now you figure out where you want to center this. And I like to use some of the dimensionals to pop it out a little bit. Now remember, when you're putting your dimensionals on, you want this to sit halfway only. So you only want to put your dimensionals on 1/2. Now, you just take your tape off the back. And you line it up where you want it to sit. I want mine to sit a little closer to the bottom. And sometimes, if you can see, if I didn't have it pushed over enough, let me see, that all I do is I lift this up a little bit because I didn't push it down tight. I lift it up and push them back a little bit further, so they're not extending into my space. I didn't push them down tight. There. Now, that's the beginning of my card already. That's simple so far. Now I want to do a sentiment on top. And I want to put "Be Happy." And I want that to rest right up there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a scrap piece of cardstock and I'm going to use a stamp. This stamp came from Joann's. It was just $1. And I'm going to stamp, but leave a space all around it. Doesn't have to be straight or anything like that if you get it off a little crooked. Because now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my deco edge scissors and I'm going to cut it out, leaving just a small amount of space around it. If you don't have any type of a deco edge scissors, then just use your straight scissors, or use your straight your cutter and cut it out. I just wanted something extra on it. There. Be happy. Now I'm going to double mat this onto the red, just like I did for Winnie the Pooh. I'm double matting it. I'm leaving space, because this time, just a little bit of space, because this time I'm going to use my straight cutter or your scissors, whichever one you want to use, but it's such a small amount. But if your hands aren't straight, use your straight cutter. I'm going to use my scissors and just cut my mat out. And also the same with these. I want this popped out a little bit. And for this thing is so small, all I need is one dimensional to put on the one side. Okay. I'm just going to put the one dimension on, and we're going to see exactly where I want it to rest. Right in the center. And push that down. Now, on my little cutouts, there were little bees. So I'm going to take my little bees and put them around as little accents on my page. Even going to put one right up here by Winnie the Pooh. And that's all that I used off of this page. If you want to, you can put another honey pot down at the bottom. You can do anything that you want to on here. But that's a very nice card made very easily. There you are. Be happy. And then you can write on the inside or stamp the inside of whatever you want it to be. That's a very easy card made using no die cutting machine, no spell binders, no Cricut, no anything. Just my cutter and a straight edge blade, a stamp, and a package of dimensionals. Or it could even be just stickers. You could do the same exact thing like I did with this one, but just use stickers instead. Thanks for watching my video.